So my name's Anuj Dal, professional cricketer at Derbyshire Cricket Club. Obviously an old Nottinghamian, been at the school for 10 years, from 2004 to 2014. I was 18 when I left the school, finished my A-levels, and having that kind of two-year block in A-levels where I was trying to manage that professional cricketer life with my academic life was quite challenging. But really enjoyed my A-levels, and then fortunately pushed on from there into the Nottinghamshire setup, training there as a full-time player, and I had three years there where I was trying to improve my game. We had countless overseas trips to Barbados, played in Australia for a few times, and really enjoyed my time there and things like that. But now I'm at Derbyshire Cricket Club. Moved there last summer from Nottinghamshire, obviously the big rivalry there. But no, I'm really enjoying my time, and hopefully have got countless years in Derbyshire and hopefully have a successful career. I've always wanted to be a professional cricketer. Ever since I was young, 4 or 5, it's kind of been a dream job for me. And I was 4 or 5 and playing in the house with my brother. Knocking balls everywhere and just driving my whole family insane. I love the time at high school. Looking back now, it kind of really did set the foundations for who I wanted to be when I was growing up. The amount of friends that I made at the school, and it really did determine how I was growing up, and really did help with that transition from school life to then into professional sport. It was certainly quite difficult with trying to manage friends and relationships and things like that, and trying to move forward. And I was barely at the school half the time in my A-levels, so it did make that quite tricky. But it was really quite nice, just coming into lessons and being able to switch off from cricket. That is, obviously switched on to the schoolwork, but it was quite nice not having to think about cricket all the time, spending whatever free time I had with friends. We'd have this one spot in the dining room that I'd just love to sit into, and my friends used to take the mick out of me all the time because it was under the open light, so it was nice to sit in there. I loved my time here, and looking back now, it almost seems like it was gone in a blur. I've remained committed to what I was trying to do, whether that was working hard or looking to train hard and trying to fulfil my dream of playing cricket professionally. But the majority of my friends and all the staff support here was excellent, and it really made that transition going from school life after my A-levels into cricket. It really made that transition a lot easier. So very grateful for all those memories that I made here. I think it's always really difficult dealing with setbacks. It never gets any easier. I think one thing that I've always tried to do is remain positive as much as I can. It's so difficult after having a setback to just kind of rejig yourself and almost trying to get up from that. It is challenging. When you're young, especially, for everyone that's in year 7 right up until year 13, setbacks don't get any easier. It's about whether you can remain resilient, whether you can just think, okay, this is the last step before my success is going to happen. I said it in my speech this morning that it is really important to set yourself manageable goals where success is not far away. I've had plenty of setbacks in my career already. I'm only 22 now, and had setbacks that have really got me down into some dark places. But it's so important that you have that support around you, and sometimes just realising that it's okay to make mistakes. That it's going to happen. Sport is there's so many, there's fine margins between success and failure. So failures are going to happen. Not even in the sporting world, in all other career paths, setbacks are going to be something that everyone's going to have to deal with. It's about finding a way that is effective for you. I knew for me that the support from my family really got me through any quite drastic setbacks that I did have. One massive one for me was at the end of my time at Nottinghamshire, where I was told that my contract wasn't going to be renewed, was a huge setback for me. All of a sudden, my dreams of playing professionally were just being torn apart right in front of my eyes, and it was just that thing of, oh God, what am I going to do next? But knowing that I had the support of my family, my dad in particular, and my brother as well, they were all there for me, and it really made that trying to deal with that a lot easier. Knowing that they were always there for me, whatever I needed, certainly made things a hell of a lot better. The differences are quite drastic, really. For those that are in lower down the school, that almost play cricket as a hobby or as a sport that they're pushed into. The difference between doing that and playing something professionally is huge. You wake up every morning with that feeling of, right, this is my job, this is what I do for a living. And it is pretty cool, I have to admit. It is something that I still can't get my head around, really. When people, friends ask what am I doing, what's my job and things like that, and you say, oh, I'm a professional cricketer, it's something that you never get tired of saying. It's pretty cool, and it is always something that I've always had that passion to do. And now when you're slightly older and you don't have the cloud of having schoolwork to do, when you're trying to do a bit of everything, you know that you don't have assignments that you got to hand in on time, and you don't have teachers breathing down your neck saying that, oh, you haven't done this homework and that you forgot about, and trying to come up with excuses all the time. It is nice just being able to focus on cricket, which can be good and bad. I knew while I was at the school, in year 7 and year 8, being a professional cricketer was a mile off. At that time, I was just playing it for the pure love of the game, and I'd know that every time I did something bad, my dad used to come and pick me up from a game or whatever. I'd just get told off by him saying, why did you do this, why did you do that? And that is one of the differences now. When you're older, you can drive to training and you've got that independent side of you. It's really nice to almost just switch off. You've done your training, you've put your hard work in the morning, and you've just got the afternoon to just chill out. That side is really useful. Working things out for yourself. A lot of the times when I was younger, I was kind of hand-fed a lot of things by coaches, by staff, and one of the differences is you have to find a way that is effective for you. You have to find a way of helping yourself and not having to rely on others too much, which is one of the huge differences that I found. When I was at the school, imagining myself playing in another country was a huge thing. It's something that I could never imagine doing. But after I left the school, I've played in Australia a few times now, and having to live there for 6 months was a challenge in itself. It's something that I wouldn't even thought about in year 7 at school. But now that you're playing cricket professionally, it is something that's really going to help your game. And I remember not only did my cricketing game get better, but my side outside of cricket also got better. Trying to deal with things like cooking for myself, doing my own washing up and washing my own clothes, which is quite tricky. Didn't have my mum there to do it all for me, but it is something that certainly hits you hard. You're almost thrown into the deep end. Aside from that, you've got things like media duties to do. You've got all these tasks and things that people want you to do for them, which again you've got to try and manage. Sometimes it can feel like it's you against the world, but it's really not. It's something that you love to do, and it's something that comes with the cricket side. That if you're playing something professionally, or if you're doing something professionally, you'll have all these other areas that you've got to try and improve. Doing the speech today in the assembly was massively outside my comfort zone, but it's something that will only make me better as I grow older. Aside from that, you've got sponsors and things that also come into your game now. I've been very, very fortunate to have two quite huge sponsors that have really looked after me in the past couple of years. One of them, Bradbury Cricket, who are my gear sponsors, they're based in Australia, and my contact time with them face to face is not very often, but the amount of support that I've got from them and the amount of help they've given me over the past couple of years has just been extraordinary. They may be a 20-odd hour flight away, but it feels as though whenever I'm doing something well, I'll always get a message from them saying, "Well done, amazing work." I know they're watching my debut live on TV. I don't know how they manage that all the way in Australia, but it's that side as well that you have to deal with. Trying to please everyone was always a tricky thing, and something that I've found with sponsors is that I've always wanted to do well for them, and you go away from wanting to do well for yourself, which also benefits your sponsors. But one of the best things about those guys in Australia, they're away from the support they give me, is that they don't. If you're doing poorly or whatever, it's not, "Come on, you need to help us promote the brand" or whatever. It's that they'll send messages of encouragement, which is really useful. As well, probably on the other side of that, Boone Clothing as well have really looked after me. They are a small company now, but the stuff that they've got in the works has been fantastic, and it really does switch my mind from cricket to that. I mean, it's a clothing company. I would have never associated myself with a company like that before, but it's fantastic to see there are potential other avenues aside from cricket as I get older. As a professional cricketer, the average age of retiring is getting less and less, and trying to stay in the game for as long as you can is an objective that we're all trying to get better at. I think that's crucial for me at this point, and setting my goals moving forward. Trying to play professional cricket for as long as I can. Hopefully at Derbyshire is something that I'm always trying to move towards. The group of players that we have there are fantastic. The senior group there, led from the captain, is really it's such a positive environment. So hoping plenty of years of success for the team and for myself moving forward. As well as that, hopefully if I played a few more years of first class cricket, the hope and the dream for anyone who's playing professional cricket is to move on and play for England. Certainly a dream that I have, moving through to the England Lions and then moving on to hopefully represent your country. As well as that, I've launched my own coaching company, Purpose Cricket Coaching, that has been running for the past year. It's been going really well. It's given me a side outside of playing, obviously professionally, that keeps on top of my coaching. I've done my coaching badges and things. So it certainly challenges me to start to think about the marketing side, advertising side, how I'm looking to push that, and kind of opens up branches that I wasn't particularly good at before. So hopefully can help me upskill those areas. We've also got franchise cricket, which is growing ever more important for guys that are in my position. It's something that's always kind of attracted me to be able to go throughout the winter and play abroad in another country. I've played in Australia a few times. I've played in South Africa, India, and various countries. And now that there are these T20 leagues, T10 leagues that not only because of the money, but because of the opportunities that you have and that there are available for a junior player like myself. It's really cool to know that there are these avenues that are available. it can be quite a tiresome winter when you have 6 months of just focusing on strength and conditioning or working on technical work, which is obviously important, but it's nice to just be able to get out and just get playing, which is what you want to do as a player. You just want to get out there and just showcase what you've got to do. And these leagues are perfect for that. So hopefully after a few years of playing in various D20 competitions in England and hopefully around the world, I'll be able to push my case for that. But I think for me especially, having a healthy life and having a healthy family is it's so important. Dealt with quite a few stresses over the past couple of years, and it's nice to just know that your family are healthy and hopefully in a few years settle down, and that's an aspiration for everyone, to have a wife and kids and a dog, which I currently have. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and have a family, which is obviously very important. But yeah, so hopefully that is in the long term, but the short term future is hopefully playing cricket for a long time.